இல்ல இது பண்ணிக்கலாம், மியூட் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
Sherry?
Good evening to all. Let's start this session with a prayer which is led by Flora Christabel.
Let's bow down our heads and pray to the Holy God. God of grace and mercy, we open our hearts, minds, and soul to worship you, Lord Jesus. Thank you for today. We dwell in your kingdom and live in your presence, Master. Lord, as we gather in this webinar, Lord Jesus, may your presence be with us. May your presence be with us throughout the session, Lord. Lord, bless our speaker, our bishop, our correspondent, our principal, our HOD, our staffs, and my fellow friends, Jesus. Lord, bless us with good health and knowledge, Lord. Lord, make this session to be a useful one, Jesus. You will lead us throughout this webinar. I also pray for everyone's safety and protection, Lord Jesus. I pray that everyone who's worried about this pandemic finds rest in you, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Bible reading by Ruby.
Bible reading is taken from Psalm chapter 121, verses from 1 to 8. I lift up my eyes to mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over you coming and going, both now and forevermore. Forevermore. Here ends the Bible reading. Amen.
On behalf of CSE Department of CSI College of Engineering and the entire fraternity of this institution, first of all, I extend my most sincere thanks to the Almighty God for giving this opportunity. I would like to thank our Bishop, Reverend Timothy Ravinder, our correspondent, Mr. M.N. Sudan Appadurai, our principal, Dr. J. Joshua Gnanasekharan, and our head of the department, Professor P. Nishapriya, for giving us this opportunity to attend this meeting. I find immense pleasure in introducing our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Vijayakant Muthukrishnan, who is an entrepreneur and an environmentalist. I thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and making your presence here. I ensure that this session
Thanks.
will be profitable for every one of us. Special thanks to staff coordinator Professor S. Baburaj and student coordinators Ronald and Abdur. I would now like to call upon the chief guest to enlighten us with his thoughts. Thank you.
Well, very good evening. Myself, Vijayakant Muthukrishnan. I'm a small-time entrepreneur. Had a long history of other careers. I would like to first of all thank our Bishop and Chairman, retired Rev. Timothy Ravinder sir, and the correspondent, Mr. M.N. Sudan Appadurai, and the Honorable Principal, Dr. J. Joshua Gnanasekharan, and HOD of the Department Computer Science, Nisha Priya ma'am. And special thanks to the staff coordinator and my very nice friend, Mr. S. Baburaj, and the student coordinator, Mr. Abdul Ronald, and all the attendees who have attended this meeting despite this lockdown situations, which is morally putting us in a challenging times. Today, I would like to share my few experiences and my opinions about the career actually, and the economy development and the need of it and the need of the hour over here. So well, so before I start with the presentation, so I would just extend all the thanks to all the people over here, and I'm just sharing my presentation to one and all. And if there is anything which you wanna stop and ask me, and I would be more than happy enough to clarify things. Well, so the presentation is think global and act local. And I had the question: is this the time to really think, and is the God given an opportunity to recalibrate things? Because the situation has demanded so from everyone. There's a lot of things which has happened in the last 1.5 years time. There's a lot of transitions which has happened globally and locally as well. So there are people who are finding new methods of working, and indeed the today's presentation and the culture of this presentation in itself is mighty new for many people, and this in itself is a challenge, and we are taking it today. So will that really make sense? Is what my question is. To think in terms of choosing a right career path. One sec. Is the screen visible to people? Can the coordinator just comment on me?
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
visible.
sir.
It's visible. Okay. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. So, what does just think globally, and act locally mean actually? By in my terms, we are in a spot of a bother right now that the world has almost come to an halt in many sense. But yet there are a lot of other opportunities people are still finding and methods which we are finding to make ourselves relevant in this world. So in that sense, staying aware of the developments in the world, globally, whatever, this method of Zoom and all this culture, was not actually, practically, availed by most of the Indians, maybe just 1.5 years back. They were in bits and pieces. Today, even a small family could actually have a Zoom meeting. So that's what I mean, actually. No? You took a method, you took a leaf of something which the globe practices, and that we are trying to rediscover and make it suitable for ourselves. Even the one who actually discovered Zoom wouldn't have thought this Zoom kind of a methodology is going to be used amongst family, amongst friends, and whatnot. 100 people sitting and just discussing about many nice things. So this is what actually I mean. They take the leaves of global thoughts. But at the same time, because the economy is something which which is mandatory and which is going to be the blood of our lives. We have to always think how we could adopt the ideas and the thoughts, especially in this compelling situations of the economical slowdown. So look at the availability of the relevant resources of any field, not just computer science for that matter. Say civil engineering, mechanical engineering, or any other professions for that matter, even food. So yeah, it's time that we all look at whatever alternatives we get it. It is time to find ourselves the most relevant in this compelling market situations. So in that means we have most of the people have lost our jobs, which is really bothering. And despite having the skill sets to operate, the opportunities are actually slowed down. So this situation, how do we make ourselves most relevant is actually the compelling question every individual has been having it. So I don't know if I can answer most of the questions, but then my inclination and thought process I just want to share with. So from my personal experience, so I was working with my first job was with Tata Consultancy Services as a research engineer. So I was working in Pune. So after that, I had a career shift to an MNC company, which worked into engineering mostly. So that I worked it for a few years, and then I shifted into government-related projects through a consultancy organization, and later I shifted into the government organization called Tamil Nadu Water Investment Corporation. So worked there for around 5-6 years. I got a transitional jump from the government of Tamil Nadu, always operating to other parts of the nation of the country also, working closely with the central government, Ministry of Urban Development. And after that, got an opportunity to work worldwide with the organization called Dubai Electricity and Water Authority for a few years. And after doing all these things, so I've come back to a all situation, to a place where I'm born and brought up, just 1.5 years back. And I've done this only because somewhere I felt there's a lot of opportunity wherever you go. Definitely, because we might be in the creamy layer of the bunch. So we might always find a job and still make our life very well. And my parents were happy, my relatives were happy. But then when I just turned back after 20 years of my career span, I just suddenly noticed, I've just developed like anything economically, everything. But then the place where I was born and brought up, where my relevance would have been more important, I was still not, the place was still not, changed an inch, say it economically or infrastructure wise or whatever be it. So this was something, making me think, when some individual has developed from a place, maybe a small town or small village, yet his place has not changed. Is there anything that we should really take as a pain point or a matter of concern? Is what I was just thinking. So that process of thinking, almost reversed my thoughts and put me back into the place where I really started my life from, and that's how I am back at Kunnur. So just 1.5 years back. It's quite nice in the last 1.5 years time. So right now I'm part of an organization which I founded. The organization name is 43 Handymans and Constructions Private Limited, which I'm looking forward to have as an ISO based 9001 and 14,001 certified organization in the near future, and now inject in culture into the industry. So what I've chosen this as a construction industry. So to this industry, I'm making going to be more relevant. At the same time, I'm just looking at one more dimension. While I grow, will there be a growth to the people or the community or the place where I belong to also? Because somewhere I felt it is the responsibility of the knowledge individuals to take responsibility in developing themselves, at the same time embracing their community. Who else can they look forward to apart from you, right? So that was the thought process. And why is it required to do at this moment? Okay, a job in a reputed company, having a secured life with confined achievements, or daring to travel in a turbulent, challenging entrepreneurship goal, which might help you grow big and help someone grow along your side, which is something that live, let live, and make someone live. So I'm thinking about making someone else live also, just because you are capable enough to make someone else's livelihoods also. And there's more to add actually on this subject, and especially today, and with this lockdown-based situation, the unemployability rates have gone skyrocketing, and no hope how when is actually things gonna change. So I felt I've taken a decision to come over here and start a career, but at the same time it makes me think even further down that it's not just me alone. Many people are compelled to come. I chose to come, but many people are compelled to come. But how many people have chose to capable people? I'm only worried about the capable people, because if someone who is I'm not just categorically saying that someone is not capable or incapable or something, but then the one who is incapable or slightly less capable could not have achieved an organization or something. But then there's always a scope that someone who is capable enough to have a startup or an organization, if he misses out, it is not just his miss. It is a miss of a few. And it might be a miss of a complete town or a city. That's what I just wanted to understand how much is that potential which we we are keeping on our backyard, and still not thriving to the potential we could have been. Somewhere our education system have narrowed down our thoughts in terms of our career. There's a saying that you study well, you'll get a very good job. Why? Why should we get a job? When you study well, you imbibe concepts. You can. Why don't you become a creator of something, whatever be it, But somewhere, you should always think, if I can really contribute towards our development as well as our society or community among us. But we have always been narrowed down. This is a old saying from even my parents would have said, and even today many parents are still saying that you get well educated, you will get a very good job abroad. You get a very good job overseas, or you get a very good job in some government departments. You get a job. Ultimately, you're only trying to I'm not actually saying that we should not be looking forward for a job, but then it is everyone's responsibility to create scope and participation of others towards developing a revenue and economy, whilst contributing towards the global and the national growth in all respects. India is actually very low in terms of where India stands. 68th rank as per 2019, just prior to lockdowns results. We stand 68th, very behind so many Asian countries, despite being the third largest population once and now second largest population, yet we are not in a place where the percentage of people who are taking up entrepreneurship is very, very, very limited. Imagine a world in a globe of around 180 countries, we stand almost 68, 70. Is it not really, really alarming for us, or something which is intricating us towards thinking on those lines? Definitely, there is something, and that is why just want to compel, or at least bring this to the plate to the people, to make them understand why not just try once. And it's the time to try, because I don't think many people had the luxury of coming back and sitting back in the hometowns after their career, especially the creamy people who go out into very good jobs, never had the luxury of coming back to the hometown, sitting and thinking, if I can really start an enterprise or something parallel, leave apart income and all these things. The satisfaction of creating something in itself is a joy, right? And how much pride one can take, in terms of creating something, and which will be very, very meaningful for yourself, relevant for your people, and always, when you have done your part, that will naturally contribute towards your town, your city, your state, your country, and naturally the globe, right? So that is what I just wanted to intricate today. And especially when employees are hit from all over the world, with the employment crisis in the lockdown rate, creating a lot of jumps and bumps. The month-wise unemployment rate has actually gone 9.35% in March 2020. So this is a result released by the government of India. Okay. So of course, within the counts of what actually statistics they measure, it is only 9.35%, where the recruitment is just dead, not nationally, globally also. But there are a lot of opportunities people have found, like food industries have started. Food industries have started, finding their own ways of, having a small kitchen and not a restaurant. Yet, finally delivering the cushioned foods to every individual's home. So that's one of the innovations. The taxi companies have tried to form a network, and they're able to help each other and grow together. So these are something which is very relevant to our basic livings. There are so many other industries, especially with reference to IT. We all say IT is actually declining, or it's taking up stake. As much as we feel that it is declining, that much we could feel that it has actually provided other opportunities. Yes, that's true. And why I say this is, now there are so many small organizations which were not having the access to informations, data, are now compelled towards looking into some kind of a data. First thing. And second thing, methods of having an safe working place and business continuity plan, BCP. We call it BCP in terms of IT terms. Not many organizations, even large industries or small organizations would have thought of business continuity plans, having a standby, or we say N-1 plan. Whenever we work, at the worstest of the situation, our business should continue, is what everyone would endure doing. So right now, it is an opportunity, not just for Americans or Britishers. It is also for the Indians and maybe local, in state of the Tamil Nadu or Nilgiris. Now we find all ways towards bringing in the business life at the maximum, despite all these challenges. So everyone has started evolving their own methods. Some people have started approaching statistics company, data company, organized marketing companies for outreach of their ideas, the business, the products. So it provides opportunity in many ways, despite saying that lockdown is ultimately whatever is required for the day, our basic needs, food, living and shelter, and all these things, which education is coming to an halt. Education, people have found an alternative for education. Today we access Zoom kind of a communication system. This is an innovation. Never someone would have agreed if this was a normal situation. I'm sure none of the parents or none of the institutions or the decision makers, the policy makers would have agreed towards having this kind of education system possible. Okay, now it has opened a big dimension for availing and making it more accountable and transparent, and to a great extent interactive despite all the limitations. Of course, today our communication, had it been in a classroom environment, it would have been more interactive. I'm extremely sorry, and we don't have the liberty today for having that kind of an interactive session. But then if someone feels that there is a question to put across, definitely please post that question or something that you would like to know about it. And whatever information presented over is all relevant, not government data. You can take trust on that data. Okay. So right now I'm just getting a data of unemployability, which is released in India today. It is released by the government as well. Okay, CMIE. So it has gone up around 23.52% in April 2020. So that is severe lockdown times. Okay, and it only kept rising and rising. But my problem or my thought process will always question me, not about the unemployability, but the unemployment. So that is how we generally limit ourselves. So we are unemployed, we are unemployed, we are unemployed. How many times have we tried to find ourselves very useful in some field, irrespective of what we got educated alone? Okay, education is definitely a walking stick. It is we who are supposed to walk carrying that sticks, with our own thoughts, finding our own ways. How many people have found their own ways despite you getting some graduation degrees? Okay, I'm sure that so many people who have taken degrees from some subject for their passion, or sometimes with a compulsion they do some degrees, but they end up being very, very successful in some other field. Ultimately, we cannot say that education what they got was irrelevant, or the career success which they got is a byproduct of something else. No, definitely education is a place where like our CSI College of Engineering, it's a very good place, very nice place, where they provide in Nilgiris one of the best educations for engineering graduates. It is up to us to find best ways to apply that the time which we invested on the institution further in our career. Definitely, when there is an education or a group of people gathering together, we find a network, we find talents of each other, and some people might interested towards traveling along a few others, or maybe try to copy each other's abilities, which all is only possible because of one nice institution. So from that institution, how we take our capabilities or the opportunities which we have, whatever be it. So say today I got graduated from a mechanical engineering. Tomorrow suddenly I got an opportunity working into automobile field. Take it. Or if I get an opportunity into computer science, if your heart pumps into it, take it. Or if not for a job, if it is for a entrepreneurship to be developed by yourself. You got a graduation from say some government arts college, in some degree, and suddenly you found a spark in some other career, and you have the ability to drive that that idea in you. Find your own ways to drive that idea in you, and then you should be the first one to give life and give enough trust and convey and convince the people around you, improvise your thought process, and then get the real shape that would be required. It is an iterative process. You keep doing it, it fine tunes. Definitely, live along with your dream, just not living. Keep trying and keep driving it to the next level. You'll definitely find the ways you can actually use your ability. So I just want to look at the stats now. 10 states with highest unemployment rate, and I'm really sorry for actually displaying this data. In April 2020, Tamil Nadu bagged the first place for unemployment. Okay, when I see this data, is there something that I should be really thinking about, or is there something that I should tell to my people, or the government? There is many things. This 49.8% of unemployment conveys me a lot of messages. Tamil Nadu is the most urbanized state, next to Maharashtra and Karnataka. So we stand second, third, amongst the number of states in the country. Yet our unemployment rate has gone 49.8%. That conveys only there is something alarming that the state government has to look at in terms of policies and other matters, which has actually made us somewhere handicapped. I don't know what. With more than 50 lakh student graduates every year, more than 50% of the graduates, I'm extremely sorry to say this, unfortunately lack basic employability skills. This is something also a released data. But then personally, with my experience of meeting aspiring engineers, youth, and youngsters, like or maybe with a few years of experience people, with whatever experience I get, I see they lack, especially with today's level of technological growth. Our people are still behind in many ways. Probably it is coupled with government policies or the mindset of the people who are who have not chosen a right path in their careers at that stage, and later are confused. So there is a lot of scope, and there is a definite scope for career guidance among students, not after the education, but definitely during the education, when they are very young, when they are very teen, after their 12th standard, the career guidance is very much like important. Just it is time that we also institutions, parents, the government insist students that there are other opportunities where our institution also find ways of immediately employable skill sets, maybe 3 months crash course of some things. Right now, you see Kirti Engineering College provides some courses like that. So, especially with reference to Nilgiri district, I would only plead to the board to consider something for every department students, apart from their regular degree, some specialization. And why I say this is, in our institution is always very wiser, and they have always had the option of giving all the options available in one specific industry, say mechanical engineer. He studies all the subjects to find one opportunity out of all those opportunities. Find one opportunity out of all those possible opportunities. That is what an institution could do. But parallelly, somewhere we are the institutions have started many projects and other other exercises parallelly, just only not to make the students work hard for that, but definitely somewhere I feel if you could actually do a small mini project which your faculties have suggested, advised, it is the greatest opportunity of first experience of realizing your talent or taking it as an opportunity for you to become industry ready. Not many engineers are industry ready because they don't take this opportunity wisely and utilize that to the fullest. But those who have done that, during the institutional days, even before they complete the institutions, they would be, gifted with the opportunity of the job. And it happens, and it is still happening. And I would say, quite recently I met one of the, graduate, still is under graduation with Ketty Engineering College in civil engineering. One student named Samuel. So very interesting. I had an interview with this guy quite recently, and he's only completed his third year and his fourth year is due. But you know what? He was recruited by one company earlier, and he was paid 7,000 rupees as a part-time job. Within 3 months' time, they realized that this guy has potential. He doesn't have great academics, maybe. Okay, he has an average academics of around 70% of academics. But this guy cracked the interview, not just the interview. He broke open the industry so fast, 3 months, and he was for a deal of 15,000 rupees immediately. So today's level, 15,000 might be very small, compared to the cost indexes. But then in Nilgiris, before you get your completion of your institution, if one guy has actually got an offer, maybe 15,000 might be less also. So likewise, someone who had, and why I say this, I picked this person, Mr. Samuel, is before even he completing his institution, the regular course and all these things, he has taken his opportunity on sharpening his skill in specific softwares. He felt, when I am in the industry, I should be more relevant. So before his final year, and he's from a poor background of family, I suppose, but yet he had found his own ways and interest towards investing in himself, which is ready to pay him more also today. So this is what I want to convey to our graduates from any industry. CSI, computer science engineers might find a lot of opportunities. Maybe you can look at your cities, Coimbatore, or even Nilgiris, the nearest place. You could always find your knowledge, your ability of analytics, put in best use. Help the company, in data mapping. What is data mapping? You find how how a demand of a business is actually assessed, for which you could actually use smart methods, some tools which you could develop on your own. So data analyticals, big data, Internet of Things. These are all today. It's become a common man's tool, like that actually, and especially we being graduates from the institutions like Ketty Engineering College. Definitely, I would only request students to take up opportunities, find around you, and try to help. There might be a small supermarket which is working unorganized without a supply chain plan. Supply chain, okay. You wouldn't have known that there is some product which is actually selling faster with very less margin, but is making a huge revenue because of the numbers. These stats you might crudely know, but then you could help him take better decision. So as engineers, so software, hardware engineers finds his own way of inventing, discovering, or repairing the old stuffs. Someone who is very smart enough, he is not putting his hands to get dirty in terms of hardware. He's finding his work very simple. Uses knowledge, analytical ability, and recommend things. So someone have that passion for that analytical, should always look forward towards using his knowledge and understand how big organizations like right now in India, you could say Swiggy is actually one of the delivery hub. They have they've made an app for that. And similarly, there are so many food outlets, food chains. So many organizations have brought up some ideas and methods. Immediately, we could look forward and know how we could adopt it cheaper and easier locally over here, so that you get an opportunity being at your hometown. At the same time, helping someone, some supermarket guy or some mechanic shop or some tourism development department, or anything you find most relevant over here, always try to question yourself. What is the demand? What is the demand in this industry? What is the demand in this place? Is there some product which is being always purchased or looked for out of this place? That gives you an answer that there is a scope that which you could organize for yourself. And Nilgiri being a place a little away from the most connected cities of the state, we always have that opportunity of finding the best and put in use, so that you benefit at the same time the district benefits. You have still not wanted to have this as an opportunity, then you are lucky and congrats. You must be the 10% of the population who is always gifted with a job, okay, who are creamy. So what next? So we just spoke so much about entrepreneurship and all these things. So there's a lot of Silicon Valley models and all these things especially with reference to computer science engineers. I could say 1990s they developed a model called Silicon Valley model of entrepreneurship methods. But right now things have evolved from there, and some new models have come. Just something which I crossed by, I have here to share with you. Okay, you have an idea. Okay, develop a small prototype of the small idea, and then if you feel that it is good, you're happy about that idea, you could go about developing a little more bigger prototype. So this, when you think about a business, it's not just business alone. They're just not about products or just service alone. Business is something else. Business is always something else than what we generally just think. Just selling and buying or providing services. There's a lot of, as an aspiring engineers or aspiring youth who are looking for career change or developments. You could always have to look business as business alone. Business has one global rule. It's only business. So any idea which you have to just small try. So where else can you try apart from your community, which is nearby? Or find a relevant place where is nearby for you. Just try, assess it for a few months, and then if you find that it is which is the results, map your results, map your numbers, feel the numbers, and do some changes. That means refine. When you keep refining, people whom you are serving, or in terms of product or service or whatever be it, will definitely feel that you're more relevant to the community. That gives you a lot of inspiration to again think much better and again improvise the thought processes. So there's no bigger archery, or there's no big hatch-up for the startups than the community which you live in. Okay, so take an idea, just do a prototype. If you find it's good, just take it forward. Okay, and that too not in a full scale. Always recommended, go stage by stage. So this is an advice which I have taken for myself, and taking baby steps. It's just 1.5 years time, but I've been should be very happy to say that so far whatever I've just tried in the last 1.5 years time, despite these difficult times, it's worked, and I'm really happy that it will work. And I trust that my community will actually give me enough inspiration to take my thought process to the next level. This idea of having an enterprise came to me maybe 5-6 years back, but being employed with some kind of an organization was always a blessing and a disguise, because I was pegged. Okay, once you get into a career ladder, you generally peg to something, because you start searching for you start hunting for your one of the rabbits. So that one rabbit is actually the career which you started, and you're actually behind it. So suddenly when you see a second rabbit, the mind goes whether to chase 2 rabbits at the same time is a good idea or not. So it becomes very difficult for someone in the middle of their career, especially not just the career of the life as well, having a family, taking risks. But then it's not still bad, especially with the blessing of lockdown times, which has put you in a place where you can think, sit and recalibrate. The world is getting recalibrated, is it not? So why not we really recalibrate our ideas? So once you are very, very confident about some models which you take, scale up to the biggest level, and just don't held your dreams very locally alone. Take inspirations from globe, but try to start from your local, so that it is you who can take the responsibility and shoulder the responsibility of your community, because this society has given you, and it has brought up you. And if you are something today, it is because of the community and the society which you are from. It is not just the education alone, or the amount you spend on the education alone, or the opportunity you got alone. Every minute, every second you live in a place would have actually made you mature enough towards taking many decisions, towards making your inclination of your thought processes. So value and respect, and try to give back something to the community, which is actually what you are today, which has given you what you are today. So you never realize actually, or rather, it took for me to 20 years to realize and come back to the same place where I left from. So when I say this, it's very hard for many people who have already moved on, or want to move on. Yes, it is very difficult to think, but then just spare a thought. If it's worth enough to really think, if it makes real sense for me to contribute and make a career out of the same place, Nilgiris, which in itself is a pristine and gifted place. You say go out of Nilgiris and say you're from Nilgiris, Ooty, Kunnur. The people who look at you, they feel like you're from a foreigner. You're a foreigner. Not every people would get that same brand, So at least if not, I could voice out for my own district, Nilgiris, and with all the pride and things, I would say that I'm a Nilgirian. So I would like always to find ways towards establishing an organization, and always trying to help not just myself and the people around me towards developing a very nice career. So thoughts on yours? So while you do this kind of a model, create a network. You might have your school friends, your neighbors, your friends. Nilgiri is a very small town. You could very easily diversify things. You might, every third person you would see on the road, might be somewhere connected to each other. So trust me, Nilgiri is a place where you can create network and easily diversify. And at the same time, with the lockdown and restrictions, create a safe space for work. Always, that makes sense. And always have a purpose with a vision. Vision-driven purpose, purpose-driven visions. Will get you results which you would always like to have. Which you would never even think that would be a result someday. But there should be a vision towards where you actually travel. Our vision keeps changing for many, but it's ideal. It keeps changing because we see the community, we see the society, and we learn a lot amongst, alongside, the developments. It makes sense, but then have at least some kind of, a vision which will take you at least to a next 5 years period. Okay, don't completely discard all your visions in the immediate short times. Don't changing your minds. When you have thought of something, stand firm for a few years at least. Give a good try, and then just wait for things to happen. Not every next day, things will change. Okay, it'll take its own time for the things to change, and it's your patience which is being tested. And if you have that metal in you to be that, you are one of the persons who is going to be ready to take yourself and your family, your community, and to say you're in Nilgiris, your place Nilgiris. Well, I just want to bring out something to you. the current state of a state. Tamil Nadu, I was just saying a few numbers. 49.8% is the unemployability, rate. This is some data which I took it from CMIE again. This data is actually rated in 2019 based on their startups. Every state has a contribution or the development plans for new startups to come. Today I'm just voicing out this message, but this has been voiced out by many people, not just today, at least 5-10 years back. But today I'm now being a part of saying it again. Okay. And it's my responsibility to bring it to my community over here and my people over here around. So I just do this. I just see Gujarat is the best performer. The top performers in the list are Karnataka, Kerala. The leaders are Bihar, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Rajasthan. And the aspiring leaders are Haryana, Jharkhand, Punjab, Telangana, Uttarakhand. I've not heard Uttarakhand in many times of the news, but they're aspiring leaders. And we are in the bottom of the table alongside Andhra Pradesh after Telangana has split. Okay, so just mind you, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, Himachal, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. The states which I read it out now are not so urbanized states. Okay, except for say Tamil Nadu. So this is a cause of concern. It's a cause of concern. If you see this map, follow this map, alongside the colors beside, the bluest color is Gujarat. And this portion, the one blue which Tamil Nadu belongs to also, are not the places where easily developments happen. But Tamil Nadu is a place where things could have been so different. See, wherever there is a port, things have changed. See, for that Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, or Odisha, Karnataka, Kerala, all these states, including Telangana, they've all grown. But why not Tamil Nadu? So there is something to the mindset of a people. We handicap ourselves that we look forward for a job and wait for things to happen, and only wait for things to happen. And we have never been someone who is an early starter, towards our decision making, towards a thought process. But we are not supposed to be that way, because this is really, really, really concerning, and this might take us downtown. This might put us in a bigger spot of bother if it is unattended in the near future. And I would only request all the participants to take this message to your friends, family, neighbors, and whoever aspiring career guys. Not just getting educated, finding a job is the only responsibility, and that's it. And keep blaming the government. They do that, they don't do, the policies are not good enough, the jobs are not provided. Of course, the government is actually here to govern our infrastructure and development, and of course the welfare of the people. But then we are a large population. We are a large population. With a lot of things, we small change in decisions, we might be affected, and the result is actually in front of you. Amongst other many states, I'm really, really jealous now because of the other states' development when compared to the state of Tamil Nadu. So it is at the same time, it's organizing, say, the state is in a bad shape in terms of economic development. And at least only hope that the new government brings in policies, matters, which will definitely make things more easier for us. Okay, I would also like to say here one more thing. See, that's the reason for this kind of emerging startup ecosystem, which is mentioned for the state, is primarily because there is no transparency and ease of business making. So here I see, apart from the students, and coordinators, there might be someone who is very influential also attending this presentation. And it is up to us to fight out fight out to make the methods of employability or entrepreneurship development, the ease of entrepreneurship development to be taking up in the state. Out of 25 27 states in the country, 18 states already have an online system for complete complaint redressal and clarification on the entrepreneurship developments. But it is not there in state of Tamil Nadu. At least the next government which is come up now, or this central government in couple with them, have to find ways where our state government's things or Tamil Nadu's things are taken up wisely, rightly, and towards the right direction of economic development whilst entrepreneurship development. And that is primary reasons that we have stood almost last line in the race of 25 states. What next? So when you get an idea, just don't get your past comparisons, which has been always, you found a job, my friend found a job, my neighbor found a job in a very nice company. And hence I would also like to say, toe line with him and find the same kind of a job. So this has been a culture forever and will continue to be forever if you don't address it timely, and it's time. Okay. So just get past the comparisons of the old days and find your own ways. There is a lot of light actually ahead. It's only you who have to find it. And second important thing, learn to say yes for what? When there is an opportunity of not working, of learning in the initial days, okay? As youngsters, you might have a raw thought, maybe very admiring, but then there might require guidance. If you get an opportunity for a guidance from someone whom you like or with the interest which you are, or the inclination of your thought process towards some kind of a person who is experienced in that, be it a neighbor, friend, or whatever, after your institutions, 4 years, if you don't find a job, don't just waste your time. Immediately try to find your passion, and the person who is responsible or who will be helping you towards taking your passion to the next level. It is your responsibility as every youth, aspiring engineers coming out of the institutions to find the right person towards taking up or shaping up your future. The opportunity which he gave is not an opportunity for himself, but for you. It matters a lot, because the matter of 2 months or 3 months of your experience with him, with your fresh thoughts, would change his life and also yours to a great extent. You never know you never estimated your potential to the fullest. But to be honest, if you understand understand your potential and learn to say yes when you get an opportunity, just not for the sake of money, but for your development. The learning begins from the institution, but the learning continues and immediately takes an uprise when you actually get into industries. So don't look at the numbers, what you get. When you get an opportunity to cling on something, that's really, really right. It's up to you to take that opportunity to immediately cling. Don't just compare the numbers that my friend got 12,000, my friend got 25,000, my friend got 50,000. No, just try to say yes, because time, the investment of the time is more valuable than the money which you would have earned or you missed it. And as you grow, always look forward to power your network. Network is what? Your friends, family, and everyone. Whoever looks forward to you, whoever looks forward for your development, your betterment, just try to power. Just keep yourself relevant to them. And look ahead and try to give back to the society which you actually, which you took off from, right? So these habits will definitely, I mean to say, and I'm sure to say, which I'm realizing now, that this is going to be so fulfilling. Your career, even you have a fantastic job in say Sweden, Norway, or whatever country, with so much of numbers. Yes, a simple job, and you get a handful to keep yourself happy amongst your friends will make a lot of sense. It's only when you realize it actually, right? But at the same time, word of caution: try to celebrate the success, whatever comes your way. At the same time, try to embrace the failures. You might actually have to undergo a lot of failure when you try a lot of things. What kind of failures? You might have tried to do a startup, you wouldn't have got an approval at all, right? So that is a huge question. What documentation is required to start an organization? Many kids, many youth, we have come along, I've just come across and asked me, sir, I want to start an organization, but I don't know what. I have an idea of having a consultancy organization for catering industry. So I remember this guy actually asking me, but I don't know what licenses I should be getting to formally practice on it. Because when I ask for some company or someone to get me an opportunity to consult, provide me consultancy knowledge to him, he's asking me, are you a standard company? I don't know how do I become a standalone, or a independent freelancing entrepreneur. There are a lot of answers to it, and it's time you have to find it. I have a lot of things, in my hand. Someday, while this presentation is over, I'm just leaving my number, with the presentation. Someone can make a note of it. There are around 8-10 points, while you start an entrepreneurship company. And I just do this, as a responsibility and not as a, not as a business. And it is my responsibility to, I take it as a responsibility on myself towards, shaping the career of, whoever, possible, kids who wish to start an enterprise. Okay, so these kind of failures might come. You might be hit with a financial, question. There are a lot of financial institutions. People are not aware of it. State government and central government have, pulled up a lot of funds for this matter. But how much do we really know that there are funds where it is your tax money and they actually lend it to you at a very, very marginal rate or a discounted rate, or sometimes they even give you bonuses for you taking a loan to really start a business. How many people have accessed these district DIC, district industrial centers, MSMEs? There are so many funding institutions who are funding it for your ideas. They only want your ideas to be shaped in a proper way with a proper documentation of 10 pages, with all your plans and piece and parcel of the papers, taken to the district collector. We have online methodologies, but it's still not put in proper use. The state government has not made people aware of it, probably, if I had to say. And that is why, many people are not, aware of the opportunities. So it's time that you all look at the opportunities which are available, in terms of, building your career, and not just your career. Your career means it is yourself and your community. So I would like to just only request every individual to take the responsibility of themselves and their community. With this kind of a mindset and attitude, I'm sure that we would actually able to take up our Nilgiris to the next level. There are so many numbers in terms of job which are always puts us in terms of broader unemployability, all these things. As a responsible citizen, instead of playing a blame game, I have chosen to do my part, and I'm only hoping for the best, for you all to do your part. Okay, at least out of the 50-60 participants today whom I liaised with, discussed with, if a few people can take it out from here to take a real career shape for yourself and for your community, this presentation will make meaningful. And that's the only prize I want for the presentation. Many thanks. Find your own key and contribute to your rural economy, which makes a lot of sense. Thanks for your time. Stay safe and stay healthy. And I have my number put in for you. Any questions? You can post.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Just I post the feedback form.
All right, sir.
Minumitra is there?
I'm there, sir.
Yeah. You just contact Lalit. Yeah, you get that feedback form and post it to everyone.
Sir, feedback form is posted in the chat, sir.
Yeah, everyone, please register all the thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, very nice. We got very nice information. So just I want to say the lot of thanks. First of all I want to thanks our Almighty who saved each one of us in this pandemic situations. I thank our beloved principal to encourage to conduct this program, successful one. My special thanks to our special chief guest, Mr. Muthu Krishnan, Vijayakant Muthu Krishnan, for his wonderful presentations. Think globally, act locally. So that topic is a very interesting topic also, catching topic also. So we all are enjoyed that topic itself. I thank who all are participating in this program. So, and also I thank Minumitra for then that MC, Master of Ceremony, third year Computer Science. And I thank Flora and Ruby, and also Mr. Lalit and Mr. Abdur Rahman and Ronald. I thank for all the technical supports for to conduct the webinar successfully. Last but not least, I thank every participants in this program. Thank you, Nandal. Thank you very much. Any questions, please ask sir. Ask to sir.
Well, many thanks, Mr. Babu Raj, so for organizing such a wonderful thing. And I hope there are not many questions which they want to put it on the public. I still hope if there is any question, if you have still not noted down my number is 90-250-28780. Could reach at me personally, and maybe I'd be able to more than happy to support from my side in whatever respects. Many thanks. Many thanks for the opportunity provided by CSI College of Engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shall we leave the program?